the Amazon, a mighty river that has given its name to the greatest rainforest on Earth. A place of magic and mystery, home to 1,000 species of birds, 60,000 species of plants, and 10 million species of insects. 1/5 of all living beings are thought to live here. But there is another Amazon you rarely see. Home to 20 million people, and a place where nature is there to be used. Where trees give way to tractors, and wildlife to cattle. This is the story of the conflict that's raging over the world's last great wilderness, of the fight for the largest rainforest on Earth, of the battle for the Amazon.
Building of the highway through Amazon forest is a big problem, since the corporations are aiming on making the profit from Amazon forest resources. It will increase the industrial activity in their area. New development of the road could change things. This is the road called BR 163. It is passing through the heart of Amazon basin. Development of this road will lead to deforestation in the Amazon, through greater access to untouched areas, cheaper transportation for soybean production and other agricultural products, and land exploitation along the highway. The government plans to expand the road up to 17,000 kilometers and connect Santarém with Cuiabá. This will open up very environmentally important area.
In order to meet the world's increasing demand for palm oil, huge areas of rainforest continue to be cleared, often using slash and burn techniques. These richly diverse ecosystems are replaced by endless rows of oil palm. Indonesia is the world's biggest producer of palm oil. It's also losing its forests at an alarming rate.
In 1985, Rio in Sumatra was covered by natural forest. The natural forest was the home for wild elephants and wild tigers. But since the industry came into the province, that then start the deforestation.
There is a good chance that you are using palm oil every day. It's an ingredient in a products such as shampoo, toothpaste, chocolate, detergent, and others. It's even used for the fuel of our cars. It's virtually everywhere. But palm oil has dirty secret: forest destruction. Indonesia's forests are cleared in order to make space for palm oil plantations. Indonesian forests are home for 15% of all known species of plants, mammals, and birds. But their homes are now disappearing. 400 Sumatra tigers are left in the wild. The lives of millions of Indonesians are changed beyond recognition, since they depend on those forests. The biggest problems: land conflicts, forest fires, and displacement. And that's not to mention the impact that forest destruction has on our climate. Indonesia's peatlands are vast, storing about 35 billion tons of carbon. When they are drained, burnt, and replaced by plantations, the conditions are set for devastating forest fires, and stored carbon dioxide is released into the atmosphere. That's what we risk if forests are destroyed.
Palm oil can be produced sustainably without clearing valuable forests and habitats. In fact, it's already starting to happen. The Round Table for Sustainable Palm Oil certifies companies and smallholders working towards producing palm oil in a way that doesn't harm people or the environment. PT Musim Mas was the first Indonesian company to achieve RSPO certification. It also ensures that its affiliated smallholders are RSPO certified, based on standards developed especially for them. WWF works with companies such as Musim Mas to train smallholders so they can attain the RSPO certificate. The certification process brings immediate environmental benefits like reductions in the use of chemicals and protection of valuable ecosystems. At the same time, RSPO farming methods enable farmers to produce higher yields, so increasing their profits, which in turn means they don't have to expand their plantations into pristine forests. The RSPO certificate is a step in the right direction, but it will only succeed if consumers support it.
Why have property rights? Rich people like them, of course. They get to live in fine homes, drive nice cars, and enjoy all the material comforts that property law secures. Property rights aren't just for the rich, however. They serve us all. By marking out who can do what with each home, car, and other things, property rights help us live together in peace and prosperity. Property rights pervade our social world, encouraging productive labor and discouraging waste. We all benefit from property rights. Indeed, they prove especially valuable to those who own the least. To see why, let's take a drive down to the beach. Want a good example of how things go wrong without property rights? Consider a foreclosed home subject to a title dispute. When it isn't clear who owns something, nobody has an incentive to preserve and protect it. The result? Neglect, ruin, and waste.
This is the case in the Amazon rainforest as well. Mainly the enforceability is not secured, as involuntary interference in the land is happening daily, leading to violence and murder cases. One important concept connected to the property rights is the externalities. An externality is the cost or benefit that affects a third party who does not participate in the activity. An externality can be positive or negative. A positive externality would increase the utility of third parties at no cost to them. A negative externality, also called external cost or external diseconomy, is an economic activity that imposes a negative effect on an unrelated third party. It can happen either during the production or the consumption of a good or service. To give an example, let's see how the Amazon rainforest can affect not only the Brazilians, but the people all around the world. Positive externality is that the Amazon prevents CO2 emissions of entering the atmosphere. Negative one is occurring with the deforestation that takes place there, as this leads to the climate change. Cost-benefit analysis is a systematic approach to estimating the strengths and weaknesses of alternatives. It is a technique that is used to determine options that provide the best approach in terms of benefits in labor, time and cost savings. So, in our case, very complex analysis should be made in order to determine the exact amount of the benefit that the eventual preservation of the rainforest will bring.
That's all, folks.